And joining us in studio, some special guests. As always, our Service Club Spotlight, all brought to you by the City of Rochelle. And joining us, a couple of special guests. First, we'll introduce Lance Charnock, president of the Rotary. Good morning.
Good morning, Charles. How are you?
Doing great. Glad to have you in here. Beautiful sunny day. Got to be enjoying that.
Gorgeous day.
The Rotary's got some special events coming up. But first off, the Rotary itself, long-standing institution in town. You are the president of the Rotary.
I am.
So I didn't play Hail to the Chief or anything to you. Is there a
No need
particular ceremony I have to do?
No need for that. Very casual here today.
I didn't roll out the red carpet. I'm sorry.
Okay,
tomorrow, you guys have your meeting, and you have a speaker as well.
We do. Our guest presenters tomorrow would be longtime Rotarians and Rochelle residents Ann and Ed Rice. I'd like to introduce Ann here. She'd like to share with us a preview of the Three Angels School, Orphanage, and Clinic in Haiti. Ann, the mic is yours.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for the invitation.
Thank you for being here. Yeah.
To remind people what's happening in Haiti. You either hear nothing or you hear the negative. And if there was a title for tomorrow, it's the stories behind the stats.
Yeah.
And there are really some success stories. So Three Angels is a school, orphanage, and clinic. The school has about 300 students.
Wow.
We've just added 7th, 8th, and 9th grades the last couple of years. The orphanage varies depending on how many orphans are there, between 9 and 18. And the clinic, we just have a bigger space recently for the clinic. So things are moving along with the Three Angels. It's a faith-based organization.
Yeah.
And Rotary, Rochelle Rotary is a big part. Everybody knows about the earthquake in 2010.
Yeah.
And I think Ed and I went down about 2012, and then in 13 became more involved. Our Rotary, there was a couple presidents that got together and decided that their international goal would be Three Angels Children's Ministry. So the first thing they did was help fund a huge shade house.
Yeah.
And our Rotary bought the first 70 trees, purchased the first 70 breadfruit trees, and Ed took them down, and they planted these trees with the idea that they would grow these trees and sell them. And breadfruit is another whole story.
Yeah.
That's another whole program which we can do. So Rotary was involved that way. That since, because of the unrest, it's been harder to get to the farm. So they kind of replaced, in the shade house eventually wore out with the sun, but they're planting different crops now. So that was one thing. But the other thing that Rotary did was helped fund our community center.
Yeah.
We had classrooms that were open air, eaten up by termites. And now since 12 years, we have classrooms, individual classrooms for every grade. It used to be half-day classes, including adding 7th, 8th, and 9th. And a big part of that is Rotary helping us fund the community center. So we were able to move the small clinic, the small little 50 books, into a media center, a larger clinic. And since then, we've been able to do a second floor where we can gather the community again.
Are these classes and the education materials in French or in English?
Both.
Both. Dual language.
Yes, dual language. And they've also started English-speaking language.
Yeah.
Just verbal, even in preschool, because English is the business.
Yeah.
French is the business language, but English is a language that's universal. So.
Yeah, and Haiti, again, undergoing political turmoil. They've had a bunch of different issues over the last few years. A lot of places note that Haiti is just very unstable in general. And so it's pretty impressive to me that you guys are making regular trips there to try to do good.
Well, we're not making regular trips now.
Okay.
We haven't been able to for a couple of years, which is part of the funding challenge. When teams go down and they see the kids, they're going to sponsor the kids.
Yeah.
They see the orphans, they're going to sponsor the orphans. However, somehow, I think just by God's provisions, we did a matching grant, and it was for $25,000. It was matched just online, and able to get new desks for the kids. Some things were falling apart. Some of the batteries were getting old. So it's a struggle. It's always a struggle.
Yeah.
And there's always needs, but not having teams go down is really huge.
The program, I mean, how does something like that get started? Like, how do you identify? Okay, I mean, Haiti is a large place. in general, and there's probably so many different places that are needs and wants. How did this particular school become something that the Rochelle Rotary and you and your husband have really become involved with? Where did that start?
It started with 3 women, almost 20 years ago, that saw how poorly run the orphanage was, the orphanages. So they started their own. And when it was handed over to Eric Helgamo, their receipts were in a shoebox. And
Wow.
from that, we have 60 employees now, all Haitian employees. We only have one full-time American organizer, and we have a director that's part-time. So it grew from 3 women taking a few children to set up a good orphanage into hiring a local, his name was Alex, hiring a local person to go out into the neighborhoods, gather children up, and they met in this dirt floor school. And since then, it's just grown and grown and grown to 300 kids. Attendance rate is like 97%.
And what community is this in Haiti?
It is called, it's Delmas 91. It's like, it would be like Michigan Avenue. Only
Okay.
It's not, well, that's a poor comparison.
Yeah.
But a main street like that. And then the streets off of that are where houses our school and orphanage. And the main street is where there's a lot of traffic. And
Yeah.
so we saw infrastructure being built when the UN was there. That was the biggest thing, solar lighting, garbage pickup. And then when things changed civilly, things have deteriorated.
Well,
that
if
way.
this topic interests you, I've got great news. You can find out more about this tomorrow because you're going to be speaking at the event tomorrow at Luna.
Yes. And that's where I said the stories behind the stats. We have a lot of success stories. I don't know if you want one of those now. Do we have time?
Well, I was just thinking that maybe we need to make sure people go to the event tomorrow.
Yes. Mhm.
But if you're interested in finding out more about the Three Angels facility, there's a website that they can go to, right?
Yes, 3angelshaiti.org.
And is there a place to donate there as well directly?
Absolutely. General donations, sponsorships of orphans and school kids is huge. That really does make a big difference.
All right. Lance, Ann, thank you so much for being here today. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow at noon at Luna for the big presentation to talk more about this and the great things that Rotary's helping support in Haiti. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
the opportunity.
Service Club Spotlight brought to you this morning by the city of Rochelle.